All right, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Chief David Kerns from the Bar Harbor Mount Desert Police Department. And congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you very much.
What a great job and well-deserved. Tell us, how long have you worked for Bar Harbor Police Department, and how long? So you've been captain. How long have you been captain? Kind of talk us through the whole thing.
Yeah, so I've been in a command staff role for, geez, I'm trying to think now. It's been 2014, 15, and then moved in from a lieutenant to captain within the last 3 years. So and I've been with Bar Harbor. I'm in my 24th year, so.
Which is awesome. And I know that I read Carrie Jones' story on you in the Bar Harbor story. She does a fantastic job. So you were hired, you were originally going to be a game warden and then wormed your way into the police department.
Yeah, I actually started down here. I won't say on a whim. I was looking to get my foot in the door with law enforcement, and but still going to school at the University of Maine. So I worked down here for the summer, and at the end of that summer, 2 positions had come open. So I was just put my application in to go through the process, and actually ended up getting hired. So
Bar Harbor, working for Bar Harbor, and when we say Bar Harbor Police, just for everybody's sake, I'm referring to Bar Harbor / Mount Desert.
Correct.
So but it's a bit of a challenge because I mean it's 4 months out of the year, Bar Harbor and the island is a sleepy little community, and then the rest of the time, I mean, it's a burgeoning metropolis. So I mean, it's really kind of hard to manage a police department that's not too big in the winter, but obviously don't have enough staff in the summer.
Yeah, we always say that we're too small to be a big PD and too big to be a small PD. So yeah, we fit right into that void that we have some months that we're slammed and real high call volume, and then of course in the wintertime gives us a little breath to get some of our mandatory trainings done, a lot of the policy review and the administrative stuff. So it's a good balance, but by a lot of challenges in the summertime months with staffing being as light as we are for the amount of people that come to the island.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So I know that you've obviously worked under some great chiefs, and had the experience working down there for such a long time. I know you're wary to make wholesale changes, but you must have some things that you'd like to implement. And I'm not going to ask you what they are.
Sure.
But I mean, the one thing that I've always been impressed upon is how well you guys do in terms of community policing. From the Good Morning program to you were one of the first ones with Buck O'Neill in terms of the coffee with a cop, and you've got great police presence in the schools with Tim Bland. I've always been just in awe of all the good things that you guys do.
Yeah, it's we try to keep that connection with the community, and in the police department, as corny as it sounds sometimes, we are here to protect and serve, and the serve component of it very much is a big part of what we do. And yeah, we have some ideas moving forward. We've really, this budget season, we're coming into Bar Harbor's with our new mental health liaison position that wasn't funded last year through the regular budget, but with ARPA funds, Mount Desert had funded 40% of that in their budget. Huge success for what we're doing down here, and I really feel like, with the national climate around social work and mental health, it's really been a positive experience for us, and some of that stuff moving forward is exciting in the direction we're headed. So.
And you're adding some new positions. I just saw that Shelby O'Neill, who I mean, my word, I've known Shelby since she was in high school. I mean, she's coming on as a part-time.
Yes.
Is she dispatch officer? What is she doing?
So she's been doing part-time dispatch for us for a while.
Yeah.
Really got caught by the law enforcement bug. Wanted to be a certified officer, so she's actually reserve certified, going through the FTO process right now. We just had another individual go through the FTO process, so he's a reserve officer with us. And especially now with my promotion being finalized, we'll have a little bit of promotions within to fill some spots, and then that will create some openings from the patrol side as well. So,
Which, I mean, when those command positions open up, that's always exciting as well, because you do have some command staff that I'm sure are looking to move up, and officers looking to get into the command staff as well.
yes, correct.
So
So,
how does that work? You gonna hold a promotion board, or how does that work?
yeah, so what we'll do is for certain levels of the command staff, it requires certain levels of supervision or experience, and so we'll open those up internally for the applicants here that can qualify, and then, but it will be I won't say a whole shuffle, but there'll be quite a bit of movement internally for sure.
Right. Oh yeah. You're very lucky in that you don't have a lot of turnover down there for the most part.
Well, for full-time staff, no, we've been pretty fortunate as of late. We always said that the island is we're a breeding ground for a lot of people getting into law enforcement, and we understand that we're not the biggest PD. We don't have the opportunities that a lot of the larger agencies or state agencies have. So a lot of people have got their foot in the door here, and we've supported them moving on to what fits their niche. So when I think back over my 20 whatever years, a lot of people that I look around the state and federal agencies and say, yeah, they got their start here. So we do have, I won't say an exorbitant amount of turnover as of late, but definitely a lot of law enforcement officers in the state have got their start here. So
If you could add something, or you had unlimited funds, what would you like to do? I mean, would you like to have a dare officer? Would you like to have a detective? I mean, what's the biggest thing that you're lacking that money could solve?
a new police department.
Location, physical location.
Physical location.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for what we do have. We are a little bit undersized just based upon the amount of people that operate out of this PD here in Bar Harbor. Mount Desert facility is great, but it's hard when I jump back and forth a lot just based upon the needs of the communities and where I'm at. But to have a central location where we could operate dispatch out of, file storage, just a lot of that evidence. I've got stuff stored securely, but in multiple locations just because space is a need.
Right.
So as far as detectives and specialties, one of the fortunate parts about being a smaller agency, I guess, is it's a double-edged sword. We don't have a detective division, so most officers get that experience of working their own investigations and their criminal complaints. In the same sense, some of that would be alleviated by if we did have a detective spot where we could just not park stuff, but at least help those officers develop the cases as they move forward. So
I know one thing that you guys rely on is not so much, I don't want to say tips from the community, but I mean, it goes back to that old see something, say something, and that, with a limited amount of patrol officers, you can't be everywhere. But if people do see something and are concerned, they ought to be able to feel comfortable enough reaching out to you to report something, whether it's in person, on the phone, anonymously, or what.
right. Yeah, and I think that goes back to that community involvement. That huge connection that we have with our communities is it pays its dividends, because it does develop those relationships where somebody's not apprehensive about reaching out to law enforcement because they may know Officer Bland from the school, or they may know me for interactions that we've had in the community. So I think that agency that's in touch with the community, I think that fosters for that good relationship with, if you do say something or you have concerns, that you don't hesitate to reach out.
And I know that you guys had great plans for a community cookout. Unfortunately, the tragedy in Lewiston, had to postpone that for a year. But I mean, I just think, when I heard about the community cookout, I was like, oh, count me in. I'm ready to come down and broadcast from there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a neat thing, and people were like, they're going to have a cookout and they're inviting everyone. And I mean, but that's what community policing is.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, so we had one last year, huge success. We were looking forward to having the second one this year. But I've talked, with some of the officers, that even though we're going into a colder time of year, that maybe we could do more of the coffee with the cop events, and just kind of spread, even though it might not be a big event that everybody can go to, but maybe we can do a bunch of smaller ones where we can kind of to broaden out in the community, so have more opportunities for people that may not be able to go to just one event. So
if people want to get in touch with you, I mean, we don't want them calling 911, but how do they get a hold of you? Do you want to give your email? I mean, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so either PD phone number, so 288-3391 rings to Bar Harbor, 276-5111 rings to Mount Desert. Those are our business lines. By all means, they can call. I might not be right in the office, but they can always leave a message, and I do my best to return those in a timely fashion. Email is always good. And those are right on the website as well. So, and it's not specifically for me, but if they know an officer that they're comfortable with, we always encourage them to reach out. We don't like the cop shopping stuff, just because it might be, an officer's on vacation and it might not get the attention it needs in a timely fashion. So, but always don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll make sure that we follow up on everything. So,
what haven't I asked you that you want to tell the citizens of Bar Harbor and Mount Desert?
Well, you brought up a little bit before, but I've worked in this area and for a number of chiefs over the years. Really, just how thankful and grateful I am to have been mentored and led, learned stuff to get me to the spot where I'm at, and the opportunity that I've been given by the promotion. I'm really excited to grow the future leaders of the area. I understand I'm not going to be around forever, so if I can actually grow the leaders of tomorrow for this community to better prepare them for what we embody as an agency, just so we're all on the same page, even better. So, but truly a great opportunity, and I'm grateful for both communities, Bar Harbor and Mount Desert, to have embraced me to be their chief. So.
Have you got the chief badge now? I mean,
I do, and I should have worn my actual uniform. I actually put it on last night when I went to the council meeting, just a very official. But yes, I do.
Did your wife pin the chief badge on you?
No. Well, and that's the hard part. I think she was disappointed that she wasn't there for the meeting. Nothing against night meetings, but they're not that exciting to me anymore. So
no, well, you've got a couple kids at home as well. So
yeah, 3 boys. So
right.
Yeah.
All right, Chief. Congratulations. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Thanks for all you do for our community, and the best of luck.
Well, I appreciate the time, Chris, and always a pleasure, and look forward to future interactions.
Thanks.
All right. Take care.